What is going on, YouTube people? Today we're going to do a little bit of a kind of broad sweeping little market update chit chat thing. Um, we are continuing to see a lot of the stuff that got run up have slight pullbacks. Up on the screen, I have market movers. The reason why I haven't pulled up market movers instead of TCG player. Market movers pulls eBay sales on a lot of other places. Does not pull TCG player data, but they generally run hand in hand. What happens at TCG player is also happening over on the eBay verse as well. The prices might be slightly different, but the overall market trend is essentially the same, outside of maybe like a TCG player Black Friday sale or something. But the way market movers allows you to group things together, allows you to see everything in one shot with percentage movements and everything like that. It's just a more detailed breakdown of the numbers. So I have all booster boxes from I think 2020 and up on here. And if you look at the last 7 days or so, last time we did this was about a week ago. They're all slightly trending down to some degree or another. I'm not going to get into the weeds on the individual percentages or numbers or price per booster box or any of that nonsense, because things are going to bounce around a little bit. But just scrolling through here, you could see the general trend. Way more red than green. Where you get into, and I have these sorted by most expensive to least expensive. Now, you might notice up towards the top of the list, we have way more red. When we get down towards the bottom, we actually have a little bit more green. Some of this is picking up Japanese booster boxes. I forgot to hide those, but like 151 is up slightly. But even when you come down here, a lot of the stuff that's in the green, we have Paradox Rift in the green, Scarlet and Violet base basically staying flat, Temporal Forces up slightly, Obsidian Flames up slightly. So you're seeing it more on some of the earlier SV stuff. But generally speaking, the booster box market across Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, even Evolving Skies, is flat to down slightly. And I've talked about it in previous videos. I think this is 100% normal and fine. Things got a little too hot. They popped up a little too high, and now new sellers are coming to market, people that bought in cheap, that are looking to unload and double, triple, quadruple their money in some cases, are now entering the market and increasing the supply on the market. Still a lot of buyers out there, otherwise prices would be completely catering. But right now, supply is outweighing demand ever so slightly on a lot of these products, causing a little bit of downward pressure on pricing. And like I said, I think that's perfectly okay. I don't think we're going to see these booster boxes completely reset back to what they were 2 months ago or even a month ago in some cases. Once again, I did this last time I did this style of video. If I change this to 60 days, it is green across the board, and we're talking about huge numbers: 40% increases, 60% increases, 50% increases, 50% increases, 20% increases over the last 60 days, more 50% increases over the last 60. So I don't think we're going back to 60-day ago prices, but I could see things continuing to kind of stabilize as they find their footing. We need this next wave of inventory to get churned through. And that's the part you don't know how long it's going to take. This is where we hit one of those plateau periods, which are very common in this market. I was having a discussion with someone the other day, and I was talking about Lost Origins and Chilling Reign, and I said, I expected those boxes to eventually get to the price that they're at right now, but it kind of happened 2 years faster than I thought that it was going to. And it kind of threw off my timeline for everything when I initially bought this stuff, in a good way, but it wasn't something that I was expecting. And I think a lot of people are in that same situation. We've done videos talking about, when to sell and things like that. And I think a lot of people are sitting back and saying, okay, what do I have? how much of it do I have? What should I sell? What shouldn't I sell? Let me move off a little bit of this. Let me cover some cost bases, whatever. You know, everyone's different. Once again, some people are going to fire sell everything, some people are going to sell nothing. And honestly, most people are going to fall somewhere in the middle where they're going to let a couple trickle out. They're going to hold on to some, which is honestly probably the best way to do it. It helps protect you on the downside risk. You leave a little bit on the table for the potential long-term upside, but if you're going to reinvest back in, it allows you to buy back into product. Part of my problem is there's not a lot of deals to be had out there right now. You know, I talked in yesterday's video about battle styles and vivid voltage and 151 reprints, but that's not really like battle styles and vivid voltage. I'm not like gonna unload the bank for, you know, to load up on those products. Do I want a few boxes to have a few boxes? Yes, because I don't have any, but I don't know that I want to go crazy on them. Ideally, I would have bought them back in the day when they were 80 a pop, but I just never got around to it. And now I'm playing catch up, which is fine. That happens. But the only thing that might attract my attention would be a Surging Sparks reprint, which, like I said, once again, is coming. We don't know how much. We don't know exactly when. I think it's supposed to be late February, maybe early March. And I don't really know how much booster boxes are going to drop. But if I could get a case of Surging Sparks for a reasonable price, I might consider it. But I think this is all normal. I'm not going to go into full panic mode here with, you know, red crashing arrows and everything's going to zero and all that nonsense. But the market is, I don't want to even say cooling, because a lot of stuff is still selling and selling extremely fast and extremely well. I just think we are in a little bit of sellers are outweighing buyers ever so slightly at the moment. And eventually that'll find its equilibrium, because everyone that's buying in at today's prices, if they're smart and they're not just doing it for FOMO, they're going to buy it and now they're going to stick it on a shelf for a couple of years. Like, that's their plan. Like, if you're buying Chilling Reign today at $325 a box or $350 a box, unless you're going to rip it, which probably not, but for your average sealed bro, you're going to buy it, you're going to shove it on a shelf, and you're going to forget about it for a couple of years if you're doing this correctly, in my opinion. And now you need those people to load up on inventory and them to take that inventory off the market. And then when that dries up, then you'll start to see the next stair step up to whatever the next price floor is. Everything just got fast forwarded because we went through the crazy last 30 to 60 days on this stuff. Just checking in real quick on Prismatic Evolutions since we're here. Back down again a little bit. It had got down to in the low 120s. Then it had spiked back up to 130 for a couple days. Now it's back down into the 120s again, the lower 120s. So it's still trying to figure itself out. The set's extremely popular. Everyone wants to rip it. And I think it was Nostalgianomics did a video earlier today talking about like the next batch of products that are coming were also pretty ugly in regards to quantity and numbers. I know I have a case of surprise boxes that I ordered through Flipside Gaming that I am hoping ships, and that they didn't get their allocations cut on it. I paid market price for it, so it's not like I got some screaming retail MSRP deal where they would be threatening to cut it. I think prices have gone up a little bit since I bought it, but it's not like I paid, you know, $20 or $25 a box or whatever they are. I think I paid closer to like 55 or 60 bucks a box averaged out in the case. So I don't expect them to cancel it or anything. It's just they don't have the product yet. It doesn't come out till early February. So, but that stuff should be hitting the market pretty soon, and we'll see how that impacts ETB prices. What I really want to see come out, and the thing that I really want to chase, is going to be booster bundles. They're probably going to be extremely hard to come by. It's probably going to be a nightmare, but I would like to load up on Prismatic booster bundles if I can. Since we're just kind of talking very broadly about things today, I will throw in a Magic the Gathering thing. We really haven't talked much Magic the Gathering on the channel, but Innistrad Remastered does come out later in the week. Right now it's sitting at about $335. I know one of my LGSs is pre-ordering for $275. as of right now, I've taken a pass on it. I dabble in some sealed magic. I definitely have some. I have a lot of commander decks, like full sets, stashed away, and some other ancillary products, some other collector booster boxes here and there. Even some draft and set boxes from over the years, like when Amazon would run their Amazon dump sales. I think I'm gonna pass on this, even at 275. That may be a mistake. The set itself outside, I think there's like a numbered card chase, but the singles in general just seem kind of meh. I know that there's tons of rumors that this is super short printed, and maybe that's all that matters, and this thing's going to go to the moon and back again. But I was comparing it to Foundations, which I have two Foundations collector boxes. I didn't go super crazy on it. That I bought for 275 a piece, once again from an LGS. And I noticed actually those have crept down a little bit the last couple of weeks. They were regularly going for $400, and now they're sitting in the 380s. And when you just look at the singles coming out of Foundations collectors, like the chase cards, some of the special foils and the anime and all the nonsense, that just seems like a much better put together checklist, and that's going for around 385, 380 for a box. And Innistrad, to me anyway, looks a little bit weaker. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. Like I said, supply could be the ultimate motivator here. If they just did not print a lot of these things like is speculated, then it might not matter. It could just straight go to the moon. But I am passing on this most likely. And a lot of that too is, would I rather, and this is where I always come down to when I'm buying sealed magic, is that, say I bought two of them, and let's just call it $600 to keep the math simple. Is that $600 I would rather spend on two collector booster boxes, or $600 in the past? The times are changed now. Maybe that's why, maybe this is the smarter play. In the past, I could get a case of booster boxes of whatever the latest magic set is for $600 easily. I could get a case at $100 a box, probably even a little bit less, but I could easily get one at 100, almost no questions asked. That's not the case anymore. You're going to be paying a lot more than that. You're going to be paying closer to 120, 130, maybe even 150, 160 a box now for Pokemon releases. So that was always kind of my inflection point. It's like, would I rather spend $600 on this or get a whole case of the new Pokemon release? And 95% of the time, I always lean towards the new Pokemon release. So, and maybe this is the play, is to focus more on stuff like this than chase overinflated new release Pokemon prices. But I think as I sit here right now, I think I'm going to pass on this one. We'll see what prices do post release. But I just wanted to mention it because it does come out later this week. So, as always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. We will catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.